Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2027 Mercedes-Benz GLE and GLS. Now, before we go there, I just wanted to give you a little bit of history. Mercedes-Benz, well, they've been around for about 140 years, and vehicles like this, which are basically crossover SUVs, have been built by the company since 1997. So they've been doing this for a while. Actually, it's a little bit more like this, if you remember the original Mercedes-Benz crossover, which TFL has owned several of. Ask Roman why, because I don't know. But I do know this. These vehicles have had significant updates to the point to where they're almost brand new vehicles. Powertrains are pretty much new. Suspension systems, pretty much new. Updated interior, updated tech. And in this video, I'm going to take you around these vehicles because they do share some components. However, they're very different. Although, just so you know, this one is available with two different powertrains, and this one, the GLE, 4 powertrains. One of the most significant upgrades on the outside is this new front fascia, and it goes beyond just what you're looking at in terms of the grille. It also is the entire headlight design. This is all new, and there are a lot of Easter eggs going on if you're into the Mercedes-Benz design ethic, but rather than go there, let's talk about the fact that they are far more powerful and potent given this design. So that means that they cast a wider, brighter beam. But there's also the new grille. And the new grille design, well, that also means that you can get an illuminated Mercedes-Benz crest and illumination around the grille itself. And that's really apparent on the GLS, which we're going to look at in a minute. But you also have on this one an entirely new front end, and you have components here that are mostly functional and some that are not. Another major change is the rear end design, and you can really see it right here. But they did also update some of the lower components as well. The dual exhaust is what you get standard on both vehicles with their base model powertrains. When you work your way up to the AMG models, things change back here, but we'll get to that in a different video. Bottom line though, the overall design is still the same. The silhouettes on this vehicle and its cousin, still the same, but the rear end and the front end, very different. Interior design has changed a bit. The super screen is new. Now essentially it's 3 major viewing screens that are combined into one going across. Some people like the aesthetic and some people don't. Another thing they did is they made the turbine vents, that's these right here, they have illumination that's available with them as well, so they can kind of pop in terms of color. Most of the interior you would probably recognize from the previous model. They are rather similar. However, one thing that's really cool is on a variety of different models, they have different interior trims. That's including woods. This one has woods. They also have aluminum and then carbon fiber. That's of course when you step up to different higher end models. As a personal touch, and one thing I'm thrilled they decided to keep, is the seat controllers. One of the best in the business because they actually move. One of the things Mercedes has done with their electric vehicles is it looks the same, but it's touch controlled, and these things don't move, which makes little sense. This one does move, and these seats are just as remarkable as the previous model, which is to say some of the best in class. What you're looking at here is a slightly redesigned interior. That means new materials on the seats. This red stitching is actually pretty interesting. And keep in mind that if you get the GLE, that's this model, which is the smaller one, you can get a 3rd row seat as an option. All right, so once again, you could put a 3rd row back here. And then if you have, look at that, a proper donut. I am so happy to see that because not many vehicles have that. Overall storage capacity is about the same as the previous model. Now, if you get the higher end one with the hybrid system, you're going to lose the storage down there, and that's because that's where the battery would go. But you'll see that once again in a different video. There are a variety of different wheels available, and they go up to 22-inch on these models. Active suspension has been optimized and changed and updated. So now it is, according to them, a sharper handling, more involved vehicle. But there's something very important that you should know about the GLE that makes it unique amongst the class. And one of the things that makes the GLE unique amongst all of the Mercedes-Benz crossover SUV offerings is the fact that it has 4 engine options, and that starts with a 2-liter turbocharged engine. That is the GLE 350 4MATIC. By the way, 4MATIC is standard across the line. That one makes 255 horsepower. Then you can get the 3-liter i6 turbocharged engine, puts out 375 horsepower. Then you can work your way up to the GLE 500e 4MATIC, and that one, it's 322 horsepower. But the reason I'm kind of laughing is because the final one, the GLE 580, that is a 4-liter V8 that makes 530 horsepower. And no, that is not the AMG model. That is just one of the GLE models. So once again, this is a very flexible platform giving you 4 different powertrains. And yes, you can get a 3rd-row seat option. Then we come to what is basically the S-Class version of their crossover SUV. And that is the GLS. It is one of the largest Mercedes-Benz crossovers built, and arguably one of the largest Mercedes-Benz SUVs built. Now, yeah, okay, there's the G-Wagon, which is really beefy and heavy. It may be heavier, especially the electric version of it, but for all intents and purposes, this is one of the largest ones they build. It is a proper 3-row crossover. It gives you a lot of space inside, and yes, just like its little brother, there have been major updates, starting with the front end. The GLS has a very similar design language to its little brother, the GLE, but they are unique in terms of their overall design. For instance, the headlights are much larger on this, but this is also a much larger SUV, so no surprise there. And the overall design, the lines and whatnot, are very similar once again. However, once again, significantly updated front end. Almost everything here is pretty much brand new and a new design language, and the design language that goes forward for Mercedes-Benz SUVs. And because this is one of their biggest and, well, frankly, most expensive SUVs, once you get up to the MG version, you are suddenly at a place where this establishes the design ethic for the rest of the lineup. For those of you who like Easter eggs and lots of extra things, the Germans do have a sense of humor. Look at this. These are all little Mercedes symbols going all throughout the grille design, and they've incorporated them in a unique pattern. It's also on the GLE, but it's really noticeable here. And here's the thing, like this section of the grille, this isn't functional, but down here it is. You have these 2 bars here too. By the way, the GLE that we looked at was a black edition, so a lot of the stuff was sort of darkened out and whatnot, and part of that package. But here you can really see how bright that illuminated front emblem is. There are quite a few wheels to choose from, and they go all the way up to 22-inch. The new GLS has an updated rear design. That black bar that goes across the back, I actually like it. I think it looks really cool. And it brings the design all into one area here going across, as opposed to sort of making things look around, like, you know, you have to look in 3 different areas to find design. It's all right here. And then these, well, they may look familiar to you because this brings that front end design to the rear. In addition, you have the dual exhaust setup, just like before. And this one has a really big trunk. Now, you may be wondering why I'm kind of being sober and going through this at a fairly high rate of speed. That is because I only have a few minutes to actually show these vehicles. So I'm trying to show you what I can, including the spare tire. Have a look. I love the fact that there's one here. And yeah, that goes even behind the 3rd-row seats. There's your 3rd row. Now, unlike the GLE, the GLS only comes with 2 different powertrains. So you have the 3-liter 6-cylinder engine that makes 375 horsepower, and of course the 530 horsepower 4-liter V8. Those are your 2 powertrains. Both, by the way, have the 9-speed automatic transmission, and once again, that 4MATIC all-wheel drive system is part of the package. There's a lot of information we don't have available yet on any of these models. That's including EPA numbers and final pricing, but we will have that pretty soon. Not only that, but I guarantee you we will be driving the heck out of these things in the near future, especially in Colorado, where having a 4MATIC system is very valuable but also in Los Angeles, where having a Mercedes is very valuable because honestly speaking, it's all about clout. And frankly speaking, Mercedes-Benz has been around longer than BMW by several years actually. So you're driving old school awesomeness as opposed to slightly younger German coolness. The point is that Mercedes has managed to update so many components in this vehicle that it's practically all new. And when I mean this vehicle, I mean these vehicles. Yes, they share a lot of the same components, but they are different. So stay tuned in the future because we're going to have an opportunity to drive these. And most likely, you're going to be getting several videos from TFL on the Mercedes-Benz GLE and GLS. See you next time.